Hi everyone. How's everyone doing today? Just gonna get things set up here. So happy Friday. Thanks for joining me again. It's the long weekend coming up, so I think a lot of us are pretty excited about that. And I kind of wanted to chat about some meal prep stuff because I feel like when we get back into September and when people go back to school, people go back to work, kind of get out of the routine of maybe some of the healthy habits that we've made. So I kind of want to chat a little bit about that. So just give me one moment to make sure the connection is okay here. Because it's not fully loading. I can't see myself. Okay, let me know in the chat how you've been doing, and say hi just so I can know that it's gone through and connected, because I just want to make sure you can all hear me, and let me know if the quality of the sound is okay. Okay. So what we'll do today is, again, we'll have a Q&A, and I'll answer any of your questions that you have, any nutrition questions or other questions as well. But I'll basically go through some of like my favorite meal prep, what are my favorite ones. And I find that this doing like sort of meal preps or having an idea of what you want to make really helps to keep you on track with having a good healthy diet and making sure you're getting in all the nutrients that you need. A lot of times, if we don't know what we want to make or we don't have things prepped, then we'll just grab for something quick and easy, and those things tend to be maybe processed things or things that don't have the most nutrition in them. So, for example, like pre-made snacks or frozen dinners, those kind of things tend to be not the best in terms of nutrition. They might not have the most fiber in them. They might not have lots of fruits and vegetables, which are important for overall health, like we've talked about before on this channel. So that's kind of why I want to give you some meal prep tips and some recipe ideas to help you with, now that the fall time is coming up and you might be getting back to work or school. I think it's a good time to start some of these things. Okay, so let's see what some people are saying. Some people are saying, wahoo, the weekend. So I think, people are looking forward to the long weekend, which is great. Looking forward to the session. No sound, no echo, and the sound is good. Great. So I'm glad the sound is working good for all of you. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the meal prep recipe stuff, and then we'll get into your questions. And somebody mentioned they love the energy bites. Yes, my energy bites. I will post a link to the recipe. I'm not sure if I have it on my website, but by next week, I'll make sure I have it on my website, and then I can post you all the link to the recipe for my energy bites. Those are a great meal prep snack too. That way you just make a bunch of them and then freeze them, and you grab and go as a snack. Okay, so the first one, let's start with, is one of my favorites, and this one is overnight oats. So this is a way of having oatmeal in the morning if you don't have time to make oatmeal, because it can take time to make. And overnight oats is actually like a colder version of the oats, but I believe you could still warm it up and have it all ready. So what you do is you get a glass jar and you fill it with rolled oats. And the quantity, it varies depending on how much you want. You can do like a quarter cup to a half cup. And then you add in chia seeds, hemp hearts, some nut butter, and then you mix it all together with some oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever kind of milk that you like using. And then you put some berries on top, seal it up in the glass jar, and then store it in the fridge overnight. And then in the morning, it's ready to go. So I'm going to show you a picture of kind of what it looks like so you can see what a overnight oats would look like, because it's kind of maybe a little hard to picture it. So what I love about this one is that it's got lots of fiber. So the oats have lots of fiber in them. If you use quinoa, hemp hearts and chia seeds, then that's going to give you healthy fats. And then the reason that's good about fiber and healthy fats is it helps to keep you fuller longer. It helps to keep you full throughout the morning, as opposed to maybe having something like a cereal or a bagel. Those kind of things don't have as much fiber and healthy fats in them, so you might not be able to stay as full throughout the morning. So that's what overnight oats looks like. As you can see in that one, it has berries on top. It's got a little bit of the almond butter in there and the chia seeds. So that's kind of how it would look if you made it all together and put in your jar. And then you can just have it like that in the morning. You can take it with you to work. I love it as a good grab-and-go breakfast, so it's a good one to have. And you can change up the variation of the flavors. So the recipe I gave you was just basic with like oats and chia seeds and hemp hearts and the oat milk, but you can even do something like you can put coconut flakes in there, you can put strawberries, you can do a banana peanut butter, you can put cocoa powder to make it a bit chocolatey. That's kind of just a basic recipe, and then you can just get creative with it. So that's one of my favorites. I highly recommend trying out overnight oats. Let me know right now in the chat, has anyone ever tried this? It's probably one of my go-to recipes. So yeah, let me know. So some people are saying hi, hello, hi there. Chia pudding, yep, chia pudding is a good one too. It's similar to overnight oats, except it doesn't have oats. It's just the chia seeds, and you can use coconut milk, makes it nice and creamy, and then you put it in the fridge again overnight. So I like doing that. If you want to increase the protein in there, you can add some protein powder. Try to get one that's tastes good, because it's like you're not going to be cooking with it, and it's not really like blended as in a smoothie, so get a good tasting one that you like. But yeah, that would be probably one of my go-to breakfasts, because you're getting in lots of fiber, healthy fats, and protein. Even the oats and the hemp hearts have protein in them too, so it's a really good complete breakfast. It's quick and it's easy to take and go, and as I said, you could also warm it up too. I believe you could like warm it up on the stove if you wanted to. If you really wanted to warm the microwave, you could, to make it a bit warmer. What I like doing is taking it out of the fridge first thing in the morning as soon as I go in the kitchen. And then by the time I'm kind of like ready and I'm ready to eat breakfast, it's a little bit more room temperature, or even if I'm taking it with me, then it will be room temperature by the time I get to work. Yeah, overnight oats is easy to make and it's very tasty. Yes, it is very easy to make, and it really is good because it takes away that time that you would need to make it in the morning, so it's just ready to go. So if you struggle to make breakfast in the morning, you're always rushing around, I would highly suggest doing overnight oats, because it's all ready to go and you can take it with you. Okay, so yeah, that one is like berries. I like berries or banana. Strawberries are good too. Okay, so let's talk about another one, and this one, let's go into something that's not breakfast. We'll go back to breakfast one. So another one would be to either have it for lunch or dinner, is something called a Buddha bowl or an energy bowl or power bowl, they call them. So basically what it is, it's like a bunch of different ingredients in a bowl that includes things like vegetables, good healthy fats, and then a good source of a complex carbohydrate. So let me show you a picture of that one. So this one I like because you can get creative and you can add different things. So give me 1 second. Like for example, you can prepare a few different things for this one, and then you can kind of change it throughout the week. So I'll show you an example, and then I'll kind of explain what I mean. So this is an example of a Buddha bowl or energy bowl. So in this one, you can see it's got, this one actually has quinoa in it. It's got some chickpeas. It's got sweet potatoes, spinach, tomatoes, and avocado, and then sesame seeds on top. So what you do with when you make these kind of bowls is you kind of prepare all the ingredients in advance, and then you have them ready to go and ready to make the bowl as needed. So for example, you would roast up sweet potatoes. You cut up sweet potato, roast them in the oven with some oil if you want, or it doesn't even have to have oil. You can just use like salt and pepper on a baking tray. Then this one has like the chickpeas, so you can do roasted chickpeas. You can make quinoa, you can use brown rice, you can use rice noodles. So you want some sort of like grainy base. So like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, those are pretty much, or chickpeas are the go-to ones that I like using. And then you want to have some sort of green vegetable in there. So this one's got spinach. You can also do roasted broccoli. You could do kale. You can use lettuce. Usually try to pick one green vegetable, and then you can add other vegetables on top. So for example, you can add on tomatoes. You can add on diced up cucumbers. You can add shredded carrots, even bell peppers. Really, whatever you like. It's basically just going to be all these ingredients in a nice, like, big bowl. And then you add a healthy fat. So avocado, olive oil. You can use salmon to get some healthy fats in there. And then if you want to increase the protein content, you can use chicken. You can use beef, fish, whatever you like. So this is a really good versatile one. And then kind of what I was saying is you can change it up as the week goes on. So maybe you can make both quinoa and brown rice, and then one day have it with quinoa and the next day have it with brown rice. Or you can do sweet potato and squash and then change it up between that. Or you can just make it very simple and have like lettuce one day on it and then cucumber the next day on it. So it's really versatile. And then you want to use some sort of dressing on it. Try to use a homemade dressing rather than a store-bought, because the store-bought ones tend to have a lot of extra salt and sugar in them. So having something like olive oil, balsamic vinegar, even Dijon mustard and honey, you can make a nice Dijon vinaigrette. Something like that is a nice alternative to buying a store-bought one. So let me know, have you tried Buddha bowls? Or just, I mean, it didn't even have to have the name Buddha bowl or energy bowl. You could have just put it together in a dish yourself. So this is a good one because you can kind of pack it together and take it with you, and then you can just put the dressing on top when you get there. Or you can pack the cold vegetables together and then the warm the vegetables up when you get to your work or wherever you're going. If you're working from home, even easier, and then it's ready to go. Yeah, so let me know, have you tried this one? I really like these ones because I find it looks nice too, so you kind of enjoy eating it that way, because we do use our like sight as one of our senses when we're eating. And then I like it because, like I said, you can change things up. So I can just make brown rice and quinoa and then easily interchange that to have it a little bit different the next day. Okay, so some questions here. I eat my oatmeal before bed. Or that's a gorgeous bowl. Yeah, nice. So eating oatmeal before bed is good too. So it is good to sometimes have what's it called, a higher carbohydrate meal sometimes, like towards the end of the day. It can help with helping you feel a little bit calmer because of those carbohydrates help with calming down the nervous system too. So that's a good one. I love the sweet potatoes and avocado. Can you add chicken? Yes, like you can definitely add chicken to it. So like I was saying, chicken or fish or beef, whatever you like to increase the protein. That looks good, much better than McDonald's. It's definitely much better than McDonald's. I have these bowls all the time. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I like these bowls too. I can't ever make a tasty dressing. Okay, so for like a simple dressing, what I like doing, I don't really go off measurements, but maybe next time I can measure it and then let you know. But I like doing olive oil. So you always want like an oil base, and then you want like an acidic base. So I like doing olive oil, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of lemon, and then I was saying like Dijon mustard. That just gives it a nice taste and gives it a little bit of a thickness. And then if you want to make it a little bit sweeter, you can add a little bit of honey or a little bit of maple syrup, crack of salt and pepper, and whisk that all together. And then that would be a pretty good dressing. You can even do something like tahini and instead of the Dijon mustard, and that makes it creamier too. But I would say the key to having a good dressing would be to making sure you have an oil base, something acidic, and then maybe something a little bit sweet to help, balance it out. Okay. Yes, I've tried Bud's Bowl. Thank you, me Buddha Bowl. And they are really, especially with brown rice and sweet potatoes. Yes, brown rice and sweet potatoes is a nice one. Oh, you can make it kind of like, what's it called? Like burrito themed, like a burrito bowl, I guess. So you could do like brown rice, black beans, you could put salsa, you could put avocado, shredded lettuce, shredded tomatoes. I really find that these bowls are very versatile and people really enjoy them. They're like, you can really just change them up depending if you have picky eaters in your family that don't like black beans, that's okay, just don't put it on their bowl. So it's a nice way to have a dinner too, but it's good also to meal prep and bring it to lunch. A good smoothie with healthy fats is great for breakfast. Yes, so I was actually going to chat a bit about smoothies now, so why don't I go into that one? Let me know, what's your favorite smoothie flavor? What's your favorite smoothie combination? I really like having like berries with cocoa powder to make it like a chocolate berry smoothie. That's probably one of my favorite ones. Okay, so next one is smoothie, and I'm sure you all know what this looks like, but I'm just gonna show you a picture of some very pretty tropical smoothies that make me wanna go on vacation and go somewhere tropical. So those are smoothies, and this one looks like we got here like a berry one, a kind of pineapple one, and then a nice green one. And so yeah, somebody mentioned in the comments that a smoothie with healthy fats is great for breakfast, so definitely. So my meal prep hack for smoothies is putting all the ingredients of the smoothie either in like a freezer safe bag or in a container and putting that in the freezer. So you do that the night before. So basically, for example, let's say I'm gonna have a banana spinach smoothie. So in the bag, I would put like half a banana. I would put in my hemp hearts, chia seeds. I'd put in spinach. Put in, what else? Maybe don't put in the ice cube. You can put that in after. But that, even if I'm just having simple like that, I would just put all those things in the freezer bag or the container, so that way it's ready to go. You can even put the protein powder in there, and then in the morning in your smoothie, all you do is pour the liquid. So like I like using something like coconut water or almond milk, and then pour the whole thing in there. That way everything's already pre-measured. You don't even have to worry about that. Put in more ice if you need it, and then just blend it up, and then that way it's ready to go. So it's very easy, and it's efficient, and it like reduces the amount of prep time in the morning. Because sometimes you don't realize it. You think a smoothie is quick, but sometimes it does take some time. I've noticed like it can take some time, maybe not more than 10 minutes, but it can take time to put all the ingredients in the blender. So having like this prepped in the bag, you can have it ready in 2 minutes to go. So you don't have any excuses for not having a nice, nutritious breakfast. And then smoothies are great because you got lots of healthy fats, protein. I always try to sneak in some spinach or some kale into the smoothie, and you don't really even taste it. You can be adventurous and try frozen cauliflower and frozen zucchini. I've actually never tried that. Let me know if you've tried that, because that is a popular trend to try, like frozen cauliflower or frozen zucchini, and apparently don't taste it. But yeah, smoothies are a great way of getting in a lot of nutrition, and they're quick and they're easy to go. So smoothies and overnight oats are two good grab and go breakfasts and ready to go. So that would be my hack. Put everything in the bag the night before. Okay, let's see what some of these questions are. Sound great. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome for that. What's it called? That dressing recipe. Yes, that's one of my favorite ways of having a dressing. So I do vanilla protein powder and blueberries and banana. That one sounds great. Yeah, I love vanilla protein powder. I usually buy a vanilla protein powder, and then if I want to make it chocolatey, I'll add in cocoa powder. So I find that way I get if I want to have the vanilla on its own, I just have the vanilla, and then if I add in cocoa powder, it gives it a bit of a chocolatey. So something like chocolate peanut butter is nice too. Chocolate peanut butter banana is good too. Okay, so that's smoothies. Let me know if you have any questions at all about any of the smoothies. If you need an idea, let me know about that. And then I'll talk about one more meal prep that I love doing, and then I'll get into any questions you have. Okay. So this last one, my last favorite meal prep recipe is making a quinoa salad. So it's very simple, and you can get lots of different veggies in there and protein and healthy fats too. So let me show you a picture of a quinoa salad if you're not too familiar. And quinoa is very easy to make. It takes just about 20 minutes to make it. You make it on the stovetop in water with a bit of salt. We've talked about quinoa before, and some people have said they don't like the flavor of quinoa, so I recommended adding cooking it in like chicken broth or vegetable broth. So if you also don't like the taste of quinoa, try to do that. It really does make it have a nicer flavor. Okay, so quinoa salad. You can use the regular white quinoa, you can use the tricolor quinoa. If you look at this picture here, it's got the tricolor quinoa because it has a little bit of the brown or the red quinoa, I believe it is. So why is quinoa salad great, and why do I love it? I like quinoa because it's got a good source of protein in it. It's gluten-free if some people need to avoid gluten. It's got like a lot of amino acids in it as well, so that's great. It's easy to make, like I said. You just make it on the stove and then you let it cool down. So it's like very versatile. You can have it different ways, but my favorite way of having it is in a salad because and you don't have to worry about warming it up. If you're working somewhere, if you're on the go and you can't warm it up, then that's why I love having quinoa salad. It's good for a side dish too, but it can be filling enough to have it for a lunch or a whole meal. So let me tell you what I like putting in mine. So basically you make the quinoa, you cook it, let it cool down, and then you're gonna chop up any of your favorite veggies. My favorite go-to way of doing a quinoa salad is making it like a Greek inspired. So I like dicing up cucumbers, tomatoes, Kalamata olives. I put green onion in, but you can do red onion. And then a little bit of feta cheese. So that would be my go-to. And then I add also in chickpeas to give it a little bit more protein, more fiber, and a bit more filling. So that's my favorite way of having it. And then I just squeeze on lemon juice and extra virgin olive oil, and it is like very, very good, and it's very easy to take it with you when you go. I would suggest probably storing it without the dressing on it. So just have it without like the olive oil and the lemon juice, and just store it regular without it. And you can just have like the night before, you can just chop up the veggies, mix it with the quinoa, put it in a container, and it's ready to go. So let me know, do you guys like quinoa salad? It is probably one of my like favorite go-to things if I have no idea what I want to cook. Like I said, it's got lots of protein in it, and it's got lots of fiber, so it's going to help keep you full throughout the day, and it's very tasty as well. The Greek one is a good way of doing it, and then there's also like, if you like dried, like dried fruits, you could even add do one with like dried cranberries and chickpeas and pumpkin seeds. That's a nice one too. It's similar with the Buddha bowl. Just get creative, be a bit versatile, try different vegetables in it, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. Okay, so let's see what questions we have. I do protein shake with spinach. Keep adding until it turns green and you still don't taste any spinach. Yeah, it's true. You don't really taste the spinach. Kale, you will taste. Kale is the stronger one, and it's much more fibrous than spinach, so you do taste the kale. But spinach, you don't really taste it in the smoothie. So I'd recommend adding in some spinach to get some nice greens in there and some good, nice nutrients and phytochemicals. I have done stuffed peppers with quinoa. That sounds great. So that's a great way of using quinoa too. You can do stuffed peppers, you can do like a quinoa soup. There's many different ways of having quinoa. So stuffed peppers are also a nice meal prep one, so that's great. Okay. Okay, so those would be my 4 like meal prep, quick and easy meal prep tips for you. Number 1 was the overnight oats. That one's great to just have it ready. Just take 10 minutes the night before and it's ready to go for the next morning. Then what was the next one I talked about was the Buddha bowl. That one's great. That one can be versatile for having it for lunch or dinner. Smoothie bags, so prep them so they're ready to go the next morning. And then the quinoa salad. So now I want to know, do you have any questions for me in the chat? And I'd be happy to answer any of them. Okay, I'm still enjoying your idea, having quinoa with mushrooms and peppers and onions. Yes, you're very welcome. So that's like a nice way of having quinoa, with a warm way of having quinoa. Okay, so there was a question from Instagram from last week that I didn't answer. So let me get to it, and then let me know what other questions you have. So, okay, so one question was, is it ever possible to drink too much water? So yeah, just with everything, it is possible to go overboard. So you can definitely have too much water. If you were to have something like 10 liters a day, that would be a lot of water. Water does depend on your body weight and your height, and then also your activity level. So generally, they say try to have at least 2 liters of water a day. Depending on your height and weight, you could look online and do a calculator, depending on your height and weight. But yeah, I would say at least 2 liters of water. 2 to 4 is a good amount to have a day, and I know we probably don't get that much. And then if you're active, then you definitely want it closer to the 4 liters side, because as you're being more active, you're sweating, and then you're losing water. So yes, I would say you definitely can have too much water. The other question was, is it okay to go gluten-free if I'm not celiac? Yes, so if you are celiac, then of course you need to be gluten-free, but if you're not, maybe you just do better without having gluten. Maybe you have a little bit of a sensitivity. Gluten can be one of those big triggers. It's one of the most common ones, like gluten and dairy are common triggers for just gut symptoms, for headaches, for skin issues, for emotional issues. It can be a trigger, so it's definitely okay to go gluten-free if you're noticing that it is bothering you, if you just do better without it. So yeah, it's fine. Okay, what else do we got here? We got that. What do you recommend eating or not eating to avoid kidney stones? Great question. So water is very important. Like I was talking about, you want to make sure you're at least getting 2 liters of water a day. And then in terms of what you want to avoid, so things like oxalate. So it's called oxalates, and that's in certain foods. So actually, spinach is high in that. Some nuts can be high in that. Chocolate can be high in it. Strawberries. So some of those things. So just look up oxalate foods, and you want to avoid those. You also want to avoid soda because it has, like especially Coke, because it has phosphoric acid in it, and that can contribute to kidney stones. What else is there? A lot of meat can contribute to it. So if you look up acidic versus alkaline foods, you want to eat more of the alkaline foods. And acidic doesn't necessarily mean like it like citrus. That doesn't necessarily. I'm not talking about acidic in that sense. It's the pH of the food. So fruits and vegetables are really alkaline. So you want to have more of those in the diet. And the things that are acidic are things like meat, sugary foods, and pop, like I was talking about. So those ones, you want to have less of those in the diet, more of an alkaline diet. And that really affects the pH of your urine, which overall is important for kidney health and helping out to prevent kidney stones. In terms of things that you could eat, actually oranges are good because it can help with that, the issue with calcium stones. Also having like a tea that can help with what we call in herbal medicine like a diuretic, so it just helps with the urine output. So something like a dandelion root tea is a good tea to have. So I would say focusing more on a alkaline, like even if you want to do 70% of your diet would be alkaline. I think there's even like the 80-20 rule, but even having like 70% is really important to have to prevent any kidney stones. And not even just with kidney stones, but actually with overall health, alkaline diet is a little bit better. And I don't like putting names on diets, but basically just trying to get a little bit more of those fruits and vegetables in the diet can be very helpful. But yes, I would say avoid the oxalate foods. So just go into, look those ones up, but like the ones that I know off the top of my head are things like spinach, chocolate, some nuts, and then strawberries. Okay, let me know if you have any other questions so far. I think everything was pretty good. Good questions, good comments. Okay. Yes, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like the ideas that we were chatting about today. So try them out and let me know next week if you enjoyed them and you found them helpful. Just pick one of them or pick something else that you found was helpful. Actually, how about you let me know in the chat, what are your favorite meal prep recipes? This might be able to help other people on here too. I told you mine, but what are your favorite ones? And I might want to try it out too. I heard a quinoa serving portion is only a quarter cup, and I find that way too little. What do you recommend? I've actually never heard that. So you mean like you shouldn't have more than a quarter cup? I'm not too familiar with that because I would say like a half a cup is a good portion. Are you okay? But also, are we talking about a quarter cup uncooked or cooked? Because a quarter cup cooked is not much at all. That's very, very little. A quarter cup uncooked can turn into about half a cup cooked, I believe. I believe it like doubles when you cook it. Because I know when I cook, like when I make the quinoa salad, I do like a cup cooked, and that gives me like a big amount. So a quarter cup of quinoa cooked is not much. I would say you definitely wouldn't be filling. You probably would have to have closer to half a cup. But yeah, interesting. So that's what you heard, not have more than a quarter cup. I'm actually not too sure about hearing about that. I'm not sure why. Do you know why that was? I would say like to have a good decent meal, you would need a half a cup cooked, and then you add like those other things I was talking about. That just makes it more filling too. So adding in like some chickpeas, some peppers, different sorts of veggies can help increase the quantity of it. Let me look this up and see if I can find quarter cup of quinoa. I'm not sure. Is it too much fiber? I don't think so. No. I don't think so, because you can have, no. Because in like 1 cup can have like 17 grams, so no, it wouldn't be too much. I think I'm not too sure why, but it definitely wouldn't be too much fiber. It's if you have, I think like a half a cup is a good serving amount. I hope that answered your question, but I think you can have more than a quarter cup. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you can find where you read this, let me know and I'll have a look at it. I have not been meal prepping since working from home. I usually make whatever's in the fridge, but I can see how meal planning prepping is healthier. Yes, because like I was saying, if you go to just have whatever in the fridge, sometimes you're going to be hungry. Even if you're working from home, you might have only a certain amount of time that you can grab your lunch, and you might be hungry, and then you might not get the, healthiest option. You might get the quickest option. So even just meal prepping something to have for lunch from home. So whether that be like cooking a bunch of brown rice to have it ready to go, like we were talking about, and then maybe since you work from home, maybe you can just chop up your fresh veggies to have them nice and fresh. But having like the grain and the protein can be helpful. I like to prep my veggies for stir fry, cut the peppers, onions, mushrooms, and carrots ahead of time. Yes, that's also a good idea that a lot of people do. Sometimes they do it like before the start of the week. They kind of chop up all their veggies and then store them in the fridge so that they're ready to go and easier to have. So like as soon as you get home from the grocery store, you could even wash your lettuce, cut it up, and store it. And it can last a few days depending how fresh it is. Same thing with like, you could even open a can of chickpeas and wash them and have them ready to go. You can cut up carrot sticks to have them ready to go too for a healthy snack. You can even pre-portion like trail mix to have like nuts and seeds that are ready to go in a container, so you can even grab those. So I find that really having things prepped and ready is very helpful. Okay. I hope I answered all your questions. I think so. Let me know if you have any other questions. I hope that was all helpful. But yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. And then if not, we'll wrap it up for today. And then next week we'll be back here and chat a little bit more about whatever health questions you have. I can kind of do something similar today where I gave a little bit of something to talk about. I find that helpful too, but I wanted to make it a bit relatable, because I find that this kind of meal prep is relatable for right now, going back to school, back to work, whatever that may be. Okay, so I'll give you a minute or so to see if there's any other questions that you have for me. You're very welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah. I believe most of you are probably already subscribed to the channel, but if you aren't subscribed and you're new here, please subscribe and join the channel, and then you can join us every Friday when we chat about this. I'll be making more videos too to show you different things also, like some more shorter videos. So stay tuned for those. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If you liked this video and you like the style of this video, give it a thumbs up, and then you can turn on your notifications so you know when I go live every week. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your very nice comments that I'm helpful and great on camera. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, everyone, I hope you all have a nice evening and a nice long weekend. If you're here in Canada, enjoy the long weekend, and I will see you all next week. Have a great day.